The next mindset that you need to change is going from chaos to clarity. All the time, I feel overwhelmed. I don't have enough time. I'm busy all the time, but the needle's not moving. I'm busy all the time, but at the end of the month, it feels like I've worked for free. I've paid all my staff, and I feel like I am the one that's not taking home what I should be taking home. That mindset needs to change to I'm going to simplify, I'm going to prioritize, and I'm only going to execute the 3 things every week that will actually move the needle. So what are your top 3 things that you can do this week that can move the needle for you? And with that, I mean you can stop certain things, certain habits. If you are constantly hustling to post on Instagram and it's not actually bringing clients in, stop that. It's not moving the needle. If you are constantly doing admin and answering the phone and making bookings and doing what the receptionist in a business would do, stop that. Find a way to do it differently, to make it more efficient, to make it more productive for you. So what are the top 3 things that you can do this week to move the needle? Then another one is going from perfectionism to MVP action. MVP is minimum viable product. So a minimum viable product is what is the basic thing that I can produce this week without overthinking it that will be good enough to sell for a patient. And the reason why I'm bringing this in now is next week we're going to go into sales, we're going to go into offers and how that works, in selling to a patient. A minimum viable product or minimum viable offer to a patient would be, I can sell an amazing experience to a patient that isn't perfectly done from the beginning to the end. They might not be coming into the most exquisite spa-like situation, but the way I do it is by making them feel at home, by talking their language, by making them feel like they're my friend, providing them with a cup of coffee, listening to their concerns throughout the consultation, really understanding what it is that they want from me instead of me just treating, diagnosing, and sending them home. So what can you do this week, just with your patients, to get into action, to not overthink things, that you can set the needle going immediately? Is there anything that you are waiting to perfect instead of just starting it? Then we want to look at emotional reactivity versus strategic thinking. One of the mindsets that I often see doctors go into is that they want results right now. And so they just lower their prices. They do things haphazardly. They throw out discounts. They don't think long term. They think in the moment how they want to create something in the moment for themselves. Now, what happens is every time you give a discount, you're cutting into your own margins. So for somebody who is already struggling to stay afloat, that just makes it even more difficult. I want you to change your mindset to the fact that success compounds over time. You need a plan. You need to follow that plan. And you mustn't get your emotions involved in the plan, because your emotions are very, very rarely a strategic thing in business. In business, we follow a plan, we look at what's working, we fail and fail fast, we pivot, and then we implement again. So is what you're doing now going to pay off in 12 months' time? If it's not going to pay off in 12 months' time, write it down so that you know that what you're doing now needs to stop. You need to stop doing that. Doing the same thing over and over literally is insanity. And I see so many doctors doing that. We look at what our neighbors are doing. We look at what they're doing on their Instagram. We price according to their pricing. So what you do is you become one in amongst a million. Instead of setting yourself apart and becoming the one in a million, you become one amongst a million, and it's very difficult for patients to then see why you are different to anyone else around you. So I want you to start thinking bigger. I want you to start thinking long term, not short term, and not looking at what anyone else does.